Well, we're still on the farmer herdsman crisis happening in the country right now. Joining us is Professor Nazifi Abdullahi Darma, who is a development economist at the University of Abuja and also a member of the Arewa Consultative Forum. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you very much, and good morning, Nigerians.
Good morning. You say you were speaking in your personal capacity this morning.
Yes, because I'm a secretary of the Area Consultative Committee on Restructuring. I didn't have the mandate of my committee or my chairman or my association to speak on this issue, but as a citizen of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, I am going to speak in my personal capacity.
Okay. So what do you make of the, the findings of Professor? I mean, some of them which agree with what we already know, but some of them a bit controversial, one might say.
Well, it is unfortunate that the professor is making public his own findings in a distorted or skewed research outcome.
You think it's been distorted?
Yes, it is distorted because whenever you want to undertake any research in a country like Nigeria and limiting it to only 2 states without coming to the real Fulani communities to have their appeal, get their views, and incorporate it, then certainly that research outcome is biased.
So tell us then.
And you see, anyway, let me allow you to take your questions so that I don't preempt you. Get to your questions and then I'll respond. I'm
a little curious. What precisely don't you agree with in some of his analysis? I mean, he's talked about 5 levels. He talked about how, the ones we see around, that they're at the very bottom of the rung. There's another level, and then there's a militia who don't own any cattle. 90% of them are not Nigerians, according to him. They go in cards. They're the ones who actually cause the mayhem. He believes that some elements of security agencies might be involved in this crisis,
which is true,
which you agree with.
Yeah,
and then he believes that there's a very top level who are the barons who own the cattle and who also seem to control what precisely happens there. So to that extent, you agree with the professor?
Well, you know, the problem of farmers herders is a manifestation of a problem, and that fundamental problem is failure of developmental policy and intervention in this country. We are 180 million people, and each and every one of the citizens is having the right, as stipulated in the Constitution, to live and do business anywhere in Nigeria unhindered, provided he is law-abiding and is not impinging on other people's right to exist. Now,
you're a development economist, and I'll let you expatiate a bit more on that. But I didn't quite get a specific answer to my question as to whether or not you agree with the different levels of Professor's analysis in terms of the levels of cattle herders and owners that we currently have in the country.
Well, as I told you,
yes,
honestly, the research is incomplete, and one may not give it the necessary pass mark of agreeing entirely with it.
Yes.
But some of the issues he raised are true. Number one, it is true that criminals have infiltrated the Fulani herdsmen and they are part of those causing this mayhem. It is also possible, I don't have verifiable facts because I'm not a security agent, that some of the Fulani actually own arms and are the ones carrying out this attack. It is also possible that some people might have owned the cattle and then directed the Fulani to be rearing it for them, and therefore they are the ones that are behind the attack. But the fundamental issue is these attacks have happened not one, not twice, not thrice, not fourth. What is the problem about our internal security mechanism, architecture, and the coordinated framework within which they are supposed to work? What is the SSS officers doing that are supposed to be stationed in every single local government and therefore gathering intelligence in order to preempt criminality towards rightful action? What is the relationship between SSS and the Nigerian police? What is the relationship between State Security Service and the Nigerian immigration, where people come into our borders forcibly if actually it is established that most of those who are engaging in the attack are not Nigerians, but are other Fulani from other countries.
These are the questions that are bothering your mind. Is that right?
Well,
the questions that you have raised just now.
Yes, they are fundamental in the sense that these problems, as I said, have been happening. And what did we do as a nation, particularly we the elites, to sit down and discuss holistically and unbiasedly across the political divide, across ethnic and religious divide, that this is a problem? For me, this problem is really for economic competition. Simple. The farmers, we have a growing population. Before independence, we were approximately 40-something million or 60-something million. Now we are almost 180 million.